Hi everyone, here's another one of my off the mark videos. Now I've mixed the exercises up here. In the other videos that I've done so far, I've done getting to doing a push-up or getting to a plank or a reverse plank. But in this one, what I've tried to do is put together 5 exercises that you could do that are fairly easy, that will give a rounded approach, do several different muscle groups and get you started on lots of different things. So hopefully they'll be fairly straightforward and you'll be able to understand pretty well. Now, if I had to recommend a single piece of training equipment for you, I would suggest one of these, a TRX. They're so useful, so versatile, and I take mine on holiday with me, and everywhere I go, if I go abroad to film or to work, then I always take a TRX with some resistance bands, but TRX is really versatile as well. So I'd recommend one of those. They aren't hugely expensive, I think they're about £20. But if you don't even want to invest in one of those until you're sure you're going to be into a bit more fitness than you currently are, then use one of these. I know you've got one of these somewhere, or somebody in your family will have one of these, and we can make do with this, right? So lots of the things I've done today, I've done using a karate belt, or kickboxing belt, whichever. It's just looped around the handle on the outside of the door, and I've closed the door. So I go cascading over. Either the door is opened or I've pulled the handle off the door. Either of those things are possible with somebody in my way. Alright, so let's start with the first exercise. Right, first of all, the most important thing, or the most useful thing about TRX belts is that I can lean in, so I can put myself further back and make the exercise more difficult because I'm leaning more, or I can be more upright and make it less difficult. So I'm going to take a grip like this, just grip that belt through my fingers, let it go on the outsides of my arms, lean back a little bit. Right, I'm just going to do some nice, simple push-up actions. Right, I might have on the inside of my arms this way. Good. Nice and simple. This way. And as I said, the great thing about this is that it lets you start at your own level. And so this is nowhere near as much weight on my arms as if I was in a push-up position. So I could do more, and obviously when I do more, my body tends to become a bit more conditioned. Alright, so stand-up push-ups. That's a really great exercise. Now if we turn the other way, we can do exactly the opposite here and do lat pulls. Now lat pulls work the sides of your body. So when someone does this, sometimes you can see they've got their lat muscle down the side here. Right, now, it's a good muscle because it works your stability, helps you to be nice and stable on the side of your body. We can do exactly the opposite. We're going to put our arms forward this way, lean back a bit, and just pull ourselves up this way. And when we do this, we keep our elbows nice and close to our sides. Now, when you work your lats like this, you will also be working your biceps a little bit. So your biceps are these muscles on the front of your arms. You'll be working those a bit. They have to work. Most exercises are compound exercises. You have to work more than one muscle group at a time because that's the way our bodies operate. When you activate something, you activate more than one thing. Now, if you want to make this just a bicep exercise, you can start with your arms straight, and instead of pulling your elbows in, pull your hands up towards your shoulders. Yeah, so here, instead of pulling my arms in this way, pull my elbows backwards, I'll pull my hands back this way. And this is much more of an isolation for just your elbows. Yeah? Sorry, just your elbows, just your biceps. What a silly thing to say. Just your elbows, just your biceps. Alright, so we've covered push-ups, which is mainly chest and shoulders. We've done lats, which is your side this way, this part of your body. We've done curls, when you pull your arm in this way. So let's do some tricep press this way. So I'm going to put the hands above my head. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to push this way. I'm going to push my arms out straight this way. I need to go back a little bit more. There, push. So it's a little bit like push-ups, except my elbows, the top part of my arms, stay in front of my body all the time. So when I did push-ups, they came back this way. Right, but when I'm doing tricep press, my arms, the top part of my arms don't come back. It's just the bottom part that's moving. So that's working this muscle on the outside of your arms. You know, your bingo wings when you wave and the bottom of your arm does this. It happens all the time when you get older. All right, so that's a really useful exercise as well. Now, lateral raise. So we're going to put ourselves up this way and back here. Take your arm out to the side. You only really do one at a time. Well, I suppose you could do two at a time. We'll try that in a moment. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit closer to the door. Yeah. Pull back. Well, you have to remember, these are exercises to get you off the mark. All right? I'm not trying to give you a set of exercises that are going to turn you into Mr. Universe or Mrs. Universe or Miss Universe or Mr. whatever it is these days. All right? Because you'd have to up the level enormously to do that. But these exercises hopefully will get you from no fitness to some fitness. Right, so we'll hold this, do the same thing this side. So pull out and back. Out and back. Out and back. Out and back. Alright, so we've got push-ups, lat pulls, push-ups, lat pulls, the opposite of that. We've got curls, and we've got tricep press. Well, there are some really useful exercises there that you could use to get started, a nice little routine. Now let's just have a couple of things for your lower body. So we'll do split lunges, split lunges. Yeah? So one leg in front of the other, and just bend this way up and down, nice and gently. All right, and work that front leg and your back leg, but your front leg's getting a really good workout here. And the best thing about these lunge splits or whatever you want to call them, lunge squats, I'm not sure, but anyway, whatever they're called, the best thing about them is you can go as deeply, you drop down as low as you like, or not very low. And you can start with a shallow squat, so just activating this much, and just a small amount. And as you get stronger and more confident with the exercise, you can drop down, put your back knee on the floor as you go down, hold weights in your hand, do whatever else you want to do. But remember, we're talking about getting you started first. All right, and the last exercise I want to do today is some calf raises. So, I just want you to stand facing the wall, put your hands on the wall. You have to lean into the wall a little bit so your feet are further away than the length of your arms. And then just come, get your heels off the ground, and then just up and down this way. So really simple to get started. You may find that you have one leg that you favour, so one leg is doing more work than the other. So you could always do this. I'll do a few on each side. But obviously, doing single leg calf raises is twice as hard as double leg calf raises because you've only got one leg doing all the work. Right, so I would start with these, and if you discover after a while that you're favouring one leg over the other, then you can do them individually. Alright, so hopefully this is a nice simple exercise routine for you, just to get started. Remember, off the mark, getting you off the mark. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed it. Give me some feedback. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you do want to invest in a piece of equipment, get yourself a TRX. They're often called something different, but they're long webbing type things with a handle on each end. Yeah, they're fairly common, and lots of people make them. I think they're great. They're a really useful piece of kit, and they come with an exercise chart usually. Some of the exercises are a bit difficult, But if you got one, you thought some of those exercises were too challenging, by all means contact me and I'll give you a simpler, easier version to get you started. Alright, train hard, stay safe, speak soon.